Yeah, we do that like that. Hey, welcome back to another episode of the Dipp Show. Today, Leo, who are our guests.
We got the twins again, Angel and Miguel.
What's up, y'all?
So if you're tired of them, sorry.
But they're here.
And Kyle, so what's today about?
So today, hopefully, we have a juicy topic. We're going to be reviewing the Odyssey and then back to our fan favorite Marvel Spider-Man. So hopefully it gets a little heated in here for our opinions. And I think we're going to start it off hot with the Odyssey. Before we dive into everything, I guess let's just give our ratings out of 10. I'll let you guys go first.
That way all of us did watch both.
We all seen it. We've seen everything.
Yeah,
Just talking out of her ass.
it's a first.
Did you guys see it twice already or no?
I see it next week twice.
Oh, okay.
In the 70?
Yeah, IMAX 70.
I've been trying to get tickets for the 70 millimeter and the 4DX, so I want to try seeing it another 2 times.
Is the
No
40
way.
one with the movement?
Yeah, where and they'd spray water at you and everything.
What?
Yeah, I thought that was fake. I thought that was
You
AI.
actually have to wear a seatbelt, I think, for those.
Yeah.
Oh, the 4D?
Yeah,
Does it have that thing where pokes your butt?
that I don't know.
You never did in Disneyland or Disney
Oh,
World?
for
That,
the Lilo and
bugs
Stitch one?
No, the Bug's
Ants
Life one.
or
The
bugs
Bug's
or
Life.
whatever?
Does it poke
Remember?
your butt?
Yeah, it
When
pokes
they
your
tell
butt.
everyone to leave, and then they come right under your butt.
Yeah, it pokes your butt.
That's weird.
I can't remember.
It's Zootopia now, though.
It's
so
a
I don't know
different-
what
He's
that
gotten his butt poked too many
It's a
times.
different experience. Yeah.
I was
Unique.
thinking it was a Lilo and Stitch ride, where
Probably
because
maybe
I think
too.
the same thing happens. He runs around through everyone's chair, and you feel him hit your
No,
seat
it's
up.
just the guy behind you.
All right, rankings.
Out of 10.
Uh,
Brief. Just keep it brief, then we'll dive into
Odyssey
I'd say-
first.
Yeah,
9.5 out of 10.
9.5.
10.
Perfect 10 out of 10.
10. Yeah.
Okay, before we go to other rankings, for me, I think there's you can only have maybe 1, 2 tops perfect 10 out of 10.
I only have 2 right now for the year.
No, in general.
Oh, in general?
You have
In
2 in
general.
1 year?
2 in 1 year, perfect 10.
What was the other
Out of
one?
all the
Project
movies.
Hail Mary.
Because I feel like 10 is like the Dave Portnoy scale where it's you can't get better than that.
You can't get better than Odyssey. I thought Oppenheimer you couldn't get better, but then
So off the
Odyssey
top of
beat
your head, what's something in the past 5 years that's another 10 for you then? Just for
you. I just said it.
Oppenheimer.
No, besides this year.
Oh,
like,
this year
in the
besides
past.
this year? Oh, Oppenheimer.
Not a Nolan film then.
I want to say
Too fast.
was No Way Home in 5 years?
No, that was
in 5 years?
20.
I just meant in the
21.
past, not something.
No Way Home is a
That
10?
was not a 10 out of 10, bro.
To me,
Like-
it was. As a Spider-Man fan, it was.
10 out of 10 means there's 0 flaws.
Zero.
Find
That's
a
what I'm
single
saying.
flaw in
That's
the
what I'm
movie.
saying. That's why I feel like if someone says a 10 out of 10, it's okay, how many 10 out of 10?
Even for me, there could be one minor flaw.
Well, that's not a 10.
That's a 9-9. Okay. Leo, what'd you have?
I think I said a 7. Or
No
yeah,
rookie
I
score,
think it was a
sorry.
7.
Yeah,
No rookie
No
score.
rookie score. All right, then 6-8.
No.
A lot lower than the population, I guess.
Yeah. I want 6.4.
6.4, even lower. I had 7.6. I guess we'll go off you. Why is it a 10 out of 10? We'll go from there, I guess.
I think it's just my bias to Nolan films regardless. Every movie he makes just gets better and better and better. It's where my expectations are so high. I'm like,
So basically, we have to throw your opinion out the window.
That's what I'm just saying.
technically,
'cause
yes.
If he makes 3 more movies, then how can they be 10 if it's better than...
I mean,
The Odyssey.
Tenet, I went in with the highest expectations, and granted, I enjoyed the movie, but to me, that's one of, not his best, but it's not his, it's technically, I guess it's his worst, because when you make banger after banger, it's technically your worst, I guess. But even that, for me, that's a 7.5. Tenet.
See, I have Tenet pretty high. I like that movie a lot.
But yeah, it's one of those where it's I just have way too high of expectations, and when
So to you, he delivers every time.
yeah, to me, he always delivers.
So, but if you see that Nolan's the director on the movie, let's say some other director made the same exact movie, would that affect,
I don't think so.
Well, in
Actually,
a way,
no,
it
no.
would, only because.
Only one director, it would affect me to give a low rating, actually. And
but
that's
why does that matter if he made the same exact product?
No, because Zack Snyder makes shit products. So
No, but I'm saying, let's say he made the exact same
Movie.
oh, then I think I love it. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter who the director.
fair.
It could be a new, but
I don't know. I
nobody.
think there's a
Because-
mental thing that.
Because yeah, that was one of my like not necessarily a hot take, but it's one of those things where like because you see that he has a $250 million budget plus Nolan's name slapped on it, I think everyone's already glazing it
Yeah.
before the movie even comes out, which you can't do. And then after they see it, even if it underdelivers their expectation, again, it's really hard for you to flop a movie with a $250 million budget and slapping the Nolan name on it, where I think some people glaze it more than.
I do
is.
agree with that. Like when you have like people like Tarantino, Spielberg, Nolan, and all these big directors, like yeah, people are gonna praise it and look.
It's almost like a marketing, like
yeah,
a
like,
marketing.
it
thing
is a
without
marketing
free
thing
marketing
because they're
thing.
like, oh, these guys are known for good movies. But like if some nobody did it, it
'cause
could just be that was okay, even if it was.
But even then, it's like with Obsession.
That's exactly what I was
yeah,
going to bring
Obsession
up.
is literally one of the.
That dude was only known on YouTube for his comedy skits, and he had a very big popular.
literally-
What did you guys think about it?
But
I
he
loved
deli-
it.
he
I liked it.
delivered.
It was a little
It's
overrated.
I think it's an 8.5 out of 10.
Jesus
but I
Christ.
enjoyed it.
I still haven't seen Obsession yet.
What's
so I
a
don't know.
movie under 5 for you?
Under 5? Ooh, a lot of Zack Snyder movies for sure.
The Super Troopers one.
Oh,
Well,
yeah,
I wouldn't say under 5. It was like right
Well,
at
comedy
5.
has its like
Yeah.
a different scale.
I was gonna
It's
say
like
comedy's a
satire.
different scale. That's the
yeah.
thing. There's this Chris Pratt movie that came out this year.
Oh, Mercy.
Yeah, that movie. That's just ass. It was pure ass. I think I gave it a 4.
I turned it off after like 15 minutes. I'm like, this is not hitting for me. I know
Let me
exactly
see
what you're
what-
talking
It wasn't
about.
hitting for me before.
I was
we
like, yeah, I'm like
clicked
this isn't it. I saw Chris Pratt. And I'm like, oh, this better be decent, and it wasn't.
Oh, Strangers Chapter 3.
Oh yes, I gave
Big
that a
fucking
0. I
ass.
gave that a 0 actually. I didn't even give it a star.
Which is weird because it's just like a murder movie. Like,
Dude, that movie. Like if you watch that movie, you're like, yeah, this doesn't deserve a rating.
And Mandalorian Grogu, I gave like a 5.
oh, pretty low. Because yeah, I was gonna say so. Like, I also think like a lot
Scary
of
Movie
people are
6
afraid
was-
to come out and give their opinions because you just get attacked online. And I also think the Odyssey gets glazed because of the budget. I mean, it's aesthetically pleasing film. Like the budget was massive, and because Nolan's name is slapped on it, everyone assumes it's like, oh, it's better than what it is. And I don't have it as a perfect 10 by any means because there is flaws in it that we can get into later. And that's why I have it as a 7 sits. I feel like people will come at me and be like, 7 sits, but like, was it bad? No. Did I enjoy it? Sure. But I saw it, 2 weeks after it came out, and my feed was flooded with greatest fucking film ever created. And I'm like, I got a lot of movies that I think had a lower budget that are way better than it. For example, I think Troy is a better adaptation.
Troy.
I think it's a better film, and it had a
I
significant...
didn't mind that movie growing up, but going
Did
into
you
the
rewatch
Odyssey,
it like I told you to?
I did. It's not. It doesn't hold up. It's
You
not.
did
that
rewatch
good.
it?
Yeah, it's very boring. It's a very boring film.
Troy,
Yes.
which is all pure killing. When I went into the Odyssey thinking, okay, huge budget, Nolan film, we're gonna get some decent fight scenes. There was
Well,
like nothing.
Actually,
it's
if you look at
not-
Troy's reviews, it's actually considered one of the worst movies of all time.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it because, like you're saying, it's like I enjoyed it too, but like looking back, like I look at the reviews, I'm like, oh, this was.
So like,
considered a bad movie.
you? Because it goes back to our blind pop rankings where everyone here was like Coca-Cola,
Yeah.
and then as soon as everyone's like, yep, this is Coke, and it's Pepsi, we're like, oh, you clearly like Pepsi better. Drink Pepsi. No. So what do you mean? No, you just said this was the best one. So are you guys just super skewed based off of other people's reviews and marketing?
No, because we've been very optimistic with Marvel, despite the last 5 years, everyone's been tearing it down.
I guess Marvel is like kind of like
Yeah, it's
comedy,
DC where
different category.
it's DC where I actually have more
But-
belief on the ratings. I'm like, ooh, it's.
But yeah,
probably
to my
not gonna be
point,
good.
like again, it's my own opinion. I rewatched Troy a couple times and I thought it was a way better film. But like you brought up other people's ratings right off the rip, where it's like I don't even, based off my own, without even
That's
looking
not
at
how
ratings.
I judge the movies, but like when you like for me, like if I see a movie, I'm like when I was a kid and I'm like, oh, this was the greatest movie ever. And then I look back and I'm
Cat
like,
in the
yo,
Hat.
this movie's actually ass. And then I'm like, there's no way I enjoyed it. And I look back and I'm like, oh, this movie actually is one of the worst movies of all time. That's what like I saw with Troy, where I'm like, I liked it as a kid, and then I grow up and I'm like watching, I'm like, oh, I enjoyed it because it's nostalgia for me. But it's one of those where it's like I enjoyed it, but I can see why it's not good. And then I'm like, there's no way everyone else thinks this way. And I'm like, oh, everyone thinks worse of it than what I'm thinking of it right
Because
now.
one
It
of
does
my
have
main
one of the best
arguments-
opening scenes.
Because
So
one of my main arguments for Troy too was the whole point of the Odyssey and Odysseus is like Odysseus is super clever and like supposedly one of like the best leaders. And I thought his 5 minutes of screen time in Troy, he had banger after banger of just like philosophy. You're like, okay, like this dude did a great job with it. Where probably gonna get a lot of heat for it.
Oh, no,
maybe
Matt.
you guys can.
Odysseus ain't
but-
the smartest man. in
I would
that
say
movie.
I thought personally Matt Damon did a bad job portraying Odysseus. I thought his acting could have been a little bit better. And again, like for him to be,
I think he did great. I think he portrayed him well because it was just he's portraying the man who.
option, though.
I don't see him being like some philosophical genius in the film.
No, but
I
the
mean, you
whole
just said he was dumb in the movie, didn't you say that?
He was like he kept going
Yeah,
on.
that's not how he's supposed
That's,
to.
He
what,
kept
that's
going
not
on
how
and-
it's supposed to
He
be.
kept going on every island thinking nothing bad's gonna happen. Like clearly you didn't learn the other island.
We're like, yes, I understand he's supposed to go through trials in the book and whatnot, but like, I don't think at walking out of the movie, I was like, damn, Matt Damon did a great job portraying a philosophical genius.
But is that his fault or is that more a Nolan thing?
I don't know. What do you guys think?
I feel like that's more Nolan because,
that's more Nolan, but even
It's
then, I
on
think
both of them, no?
but Nolan
I
was
guess-
also going by this
They
interpreter's
both have
version of
the
it.
responsibility.
Because I did see the girl who sold the most
The interpretation one,
of
like
Odyssey.
she hates it, but
she shat on it.
and it's one of
It
those
was like a
I'm-
5,000 word essay on how bad the movie
Because I'm
was.
like, in my head, I'm like, it's her fault for making it that way because Nolan got it off her, interpreted it like this, and Matt Damon read it like this. So it's like, it
And
could
it's
be
a-
Damon's fault, it could be Nolan's fault, but it also could be her fault.
Yeah, but it's not. But the thing is, like, I feel like the general consensus, like, when you read her version, like, people kind of get the same idea. I feel like Nolan sometimes tries to like throw out a bunch of confusing things just to confuse. That's a thing he does.
Not
he
wrong on
confuses-
that.
Yeah, so I'm like saying like maybe he didn't. It's not that he didn't interpret. Like he just wanted to like make his own spin on it. You know. Like,
but he was wait. I don't get what he was making it confusing though, because he
Dude, his movie doesn't follow the book
Doesn't
at all.
follow the book at
Each trial he goes through is significantly different than the book. I understand you can't make it a one for one, but like there's a lot of things he missed.
No,
based
he
off the
even
book.
says when
he had to cut out because it had to be under 3 hours because that's the IMAX film length. So
So I get that, but like
that's
so,
not
like-
an excuse for.
so like the bit. So here, let me pull up my notes.
Because I know for me, we were disappointed in the Siren one because we
Yeah,
thought
that
thought
was
they
like the
could have
one
done
I
a
was
little
looking
better on that.
forward to the most.
The other one of the big ones I could see people who don't really know about the story as much, like they didn't read it. If they went in and watched that movie, like I don't think they would understand what Zendaya even did in the movie.
Yeah, to include her, because like
That's
in the
me.
books, Athena plays a
Yeah, like-
super big role. So if you're gonna include the gods, like at least like show what Athena was
They
doing.
didn't know she was a goddess.
Yeah, they didn't do it, and like she just kind of sat there and stared at him. Where it's like, why include her if she's not gonna bring
I think
any
that's-
guidance at
I think
all?
that's the interpretation. Like he was so guilt stricken because he broke Zeus's number one law. The whole I wasn't welcomed and we barged in and destroyed the place. That's the whole interpretation of the whole scene. And I've seen people debate that Zendaya at the end, it could be interpreted that, oh, the whole beggar scene, like, oh, any beggar could be a god, so you always treat him with respect.
Yeah, he
I
did a good job including
I
Jesus law
feel
throughout the
I
movie.
feel like that whole scene could be interpreted that, oh, Athena was one of the people that they killed, a god, and so like that's on his mind as like the guilt stricken, like I just defied everything about the gods. I broke all of Zeus's laws. I've been the people jumping like attacking the islands and everything, that the men of the sea that everyone's afraid of.
I feel like that
I get that.
I get that, but I
get
feel like
that,
that
but I
just
feel like
doesn't.
it wasn't very well
doesn't-
portrayed in the
yeah.
movie. Like I said, like a common person is going to watch it, they'd be like, "All right, why is?"
But
she
then
just
you're gonna
appearing
have a
and now-
Netflix movie, because then they have to over-explain everything. It's supposed to be, oh, okay, like people need to start using their brains
No,
more.
100%,
Like
100%.
literally,
But, like,
me-
my-
literally,
Tell him Leo use his brain more.
No, my counter to that is like, because they used the clip that she gave him as Athena's like symbol for like, okay, like wear this so I can find you later and have Athena guide you. That I feel like played more significance than Athena just randomly staring at him every 25 minutes for 30 seconds.
I always just assumed
she
was
even,
just
guide him or do anything.
the guilt
really.
trip that he had.
Yeah, every time he was about to do like him or his men were about to break Zeus's law, like she was there to be like.
But she's supposed to be a guide too, right?
No, she plays a huge role in that. She didn't really, and like when he's on Calypso's island, I forgot what god it is. I think it's Hermes. Hermes is the one that actually, like, Athena pleads to Zeus, and then Zeus.
I know
agrees,
Nolan
and
came
then
out
Hermes
saying he cut a lot of God stuff just because he didn't want it to like.
Which made sense, and I get that, but he chose to keep Athena in it, and she was only in it for what she had, like 4 minutes of screen time and less than 30 seconds of speaking. Where I feel like to include her, they could have done a little bit better job than that. So like that was one of the big differences where I was like, I didn't really understand that, because again, if you're gonna bring all these like high profile actors in, like let them act more than just stare at him, I guess.
To be honest, I think that's just Nolan in general, because like.
Even with Oppenheimer, a lot of people, when they were told, "Hey, do you want this scene?" It's only like 2 lines. A lot of them are like,
because it's Nolan film.
Because I remember,
it's the same with like Quentin Tarantino. Like whoever gets approached by these, like,
they want it. Yeah,
they just want to be in their movies.
That made sense. And because another big thing I didn't like was like, especially in the books too, the Cyclops scene was like one of the biggest things, and I thought he butchered the Cyclops scene pretty bad. We're like,
I thought
he didn't show trickery or his wisdom at all in it.
In the book, I will say,
he's supposed to get the Cyclops drunk
to say like, and to be like,
I'm nobody.
I'm
so
nobody,
when he screams for help, like I didn't mind him not including other Cyclops. I don't think they really needed him. But when he like cries to the other Cyclops for help, they're like, what happened? Like, who hurt you? He's like, nobody hurt me. Where it's like it shows his wisdom, where he's like trying to like outsmart the Cyclops.
Yeah.
And then when they sneak out of the cave, his pride takes over, which shows his downfall, because as smart as he is, he's still like a Greek warrior where they have pride, where he's just like, tell whomever that you got best by Odysseus, and then that's when he cries to Poseidon, and that's where all the downfall happens, and instead they run away, and he's supposed to be portrayed in the movie as some great, humble, wise leader, and then he's like, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot an arrow at him.
I think that's still part of his pride getting
I get
to
that,
him.
but like, why change such a significant part of the book to that? Like, I think it like, why shoot him with an arrow versus like, hey, I outsmarted you? Like, there's a big difference between shooting an arrow.
No, I get it, yeah.
So that's one thing I really didn't like. I
think it just showed his pride was like he just had too big of an ego. In my eyes,
that.
it was
and
just like
I feel like there's multiple ways you can portray ego, and based off like you have a whole book of Odysseus where it's like he doesn't like kill like that. He just like, fuck it, I'm gonna shoot him with an arrow. Like, I just thought that was a big jump.
I think for me, since the book is so old, like, to not trying to discredit the book or anything, I think Nolan's more like, I need to make the movie more like modern, where people could be okay with it, even though there's going to be people that are going to he
So you think
like,
based off on like modern culture and how
like
society is?
Yeah,
like
where it's like
in
today's society, he won't
That's
say
a good
the
take.
whole like that. It's the more like,
I like that.
Fuck this guy, I'm just going to shoot
I would say,
him.
okay, that makes sense.
I think that's what Nolan was doing. It's more like, well, today's books and movies are nothing like back then, so I have to make it kind of what.
And then appeal to the casual audience.
Too. Yeah.
I did wish he was gonna do the nobody part, because that is a big.
Yeah, that one I remember
like,
when it like just didn't happen. I'm like, oh, is he not gonna? It's like maybe when they get out, they're gonna say it, and then he just shoots it. I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah. And that's the thing too, because in the book too, the giant has all these warriors, and he kills 2 right off the rip, like he did in the movie. But then he tries friending the giant. They drink a ton of wine. Not the giant Cyclops. They get the Cyclops drunk, so because he's too drunk, he falls asleep. In the movie, he's like, all right, I'm going to eat these 2 soldiers that have weapons, and I'm just going to plop down and go to sleep completely defenseless. Like, I thought they, like, kind of butchered that part, because, like, why would you just sleep with the whole army?
And then they burned his eye, and then he just didn't do it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I thought, I understand you had to cut it, but, like, I thought.
Then the other thing, too, like,
that scene.
when they finally do get out and he shoots them and then they start running, like, how's he seeing them and chasing them?
Yeah,
after they burned his eye and then shot him with an arrow. He's
because he couldn't really get him in the cave. Like,
yeah,
And
Not to
then
mention the soldiers, like the freaking boat's tall as shit, and they just jump over like nothing.
I will say we talked about it. It was with I don't know how to pronounce it, but like the armored giant scene.
oh yeah,
Those guys. When you have a $250 million budget, you can't make little flaws like that because throughout the entire movie they have to climb up on the boat, right? And the only reason Odysseus' ship lasts was because he was smarter than his other ship or fleet that went with him. They all parked the boats right up front. His stayed out in the harbor while the rocks couldn't reach out to them. And throughout, like I said, throughout the entire movie, they have to like climb up and over. But when they're getting chased, they cut to a scene where it's like in the front of the boat, and it's all of a sudden you see this massive boat, but the front is this big, and you see their chest like here, and they're like lifting themselves up and over. Where I was
I
like,
never noticed.
when you rewatch it, it's when they're getting attacked by, I don't know how to say their name, but those like
The giants.
the
pretty
giants.
much.
You'll see them start hopping over in the water too. So it's not like they're standing here, like you're floating in the middle of the ocean, and all of a sudden it's a massive boat down to this big, and they're just pulling themselves over. Because yeah, I'm pretty sure it started far out, but how the scene was shot, they're all running to the boat, and all of a sudden, like the far scene, it's way out in the harbor, and all of a sudden it like moves 100 yards in, and it's right off. Right, I was like,
That's a continuity error.
yeah, no, it really was. So that was one of them, and then to that point too, like I said earlier, if you're gonna deviate from the book, kind of like how Troy did, like I felt like Troy was fight heavy, which was like cool to watch. So if you're gonna completely change the giants and put armor on them and look like fierce beasts, all they did was like pull up and they all ran. They didn't even fight them. It's like, why give them swords and armor just for them to run away, not even like put a fight in there?
You're telling me you would have seen those giants and been like, I'm fucking dude.
No, I get that,
Well,
but like,
they didn't have armors and swords.
no, that's what I'm
maybe.
saying. You could have had just regular giants attack them and run, but instead he's like, all right, like, because in the previews when I saw that, I was like, oh damn, that's gonna be a dope fight scene, and then they just run. Where it's like,
The
if you're,
first person they hit was just like bomb, and it just dude gets whacked into a tree, and it's just like you see that, and you're like,
no, I
had no
get that,
shot.
I get that, but you could have not put swords and armor on them and just had giants, because in my mind I was like, oh, bet we're gonna get some dope fighting. Nothing.
I think that's just the way those guys were. They were hearing the rumors of the men at sea. That's why. I think they were just prepared for when the men at sea come.
But like in the books, they weren't like armored to the teeth with weapons and stuff like that. So that's just another change where it was like, oh, you could have maybe put some fighting in there, like show some people try to defend themselves, but instead they just pulled
just
up and were
died.
like, we're gonna cheese it and get the fuck out of here.
I think Nolan's just very like on brand with. He's definitely like going through some crisis in his head because with this and Oppenheimer, he's definitely like, oh, we just ruined the world for the next few generations. Like the next generations of humanity just got ruined because they broke Zeus's law, and then Oppenheimer with like, we just made the nuclear bomb, we just destroyed the world. Whereas the Odyssey was kind of like the precursor of that. It's like, oh, us breaking Zeus's law made everyone now be like, there's no rules anymore. Like we can do whatever we want. The world just basically like now is crumbling from here on. Like it's a domino effect, basically a domino effect going to the nuclear bomb in a way. Hey, you got all that?
I was like, what?
Yeah, it's kind of crazy. My biggest flaw, if you will, after these giants, they are down to one ship, right? And then all of a sudden, more and more men are dying as they keep going. But then, like, at the end, like, the ship is full still. Like,
Yeah, that's another
Yeah,
flaw.
like they never lose
like,
men on the boat.
when they went
More
to that
movies do that a lot.
lady that pig turned them into pigs,
Yeah.
they come back and all of a sudden the boat's full again. I'm like, what the fuck? There was 10 dudes left, and
then
now the ship's full. Like, what's going
That
on?
was another one. Is like the
Well, I don't think everyone leaves this ship though.
Everyone
No,
does.
but like that's the thing. In the books, I think he has up to 12 ships, and in the movie they only had 3. So if you're gonna significantly reduce it again, it's not like budget was a problem. Then make it accurate. Like if he had the 12, then with the amount of men that die in each scene, it'd be more believable because he had so many ships. But because they only had the main big one and 2 side ones, you're like, okay, well, 45 dudes just died in that scene, and then all of a sudden it's like, damn, all those boats look full. Then more die in each scene, and like until the 2 side boats get blown up, like
Yeah, and
it
then
doesn't look like they actually lose men at all. Where I was like
that scene, what is that sea monster when they avoid the whirlpool and
Go to
I have the
I
name.
forgot what
It
it's
starts
called,
with an
but
S.
where it
Yeah.
takes 6 of them.
It's supposed to look more like a sea monster, and they
Like
made
a
it just look like
dragon.
tarantula claws
Yeah.
almost.
I have it in my notes somewhere. What it's called.
And it was like came out of a rock.
I think at that point is when they had like 10 dudes left.
they lost 6, and they lost 6.
They lost
in
6,
that,
'cause
and
they
then
had up
looked
to-
back and
yeah.
it was still full.
Yeah, that's why I was like, what the
But like
It's
Kyle
a
said,
Skyla,
that's what a lot of
SCYLA,
war
Skyla.
movies do too. Like
That's
That
what I'm
is
saying.
true.
War
That's
like
movies
not even-
do that, and
yeah.
I just hate it because I feel like sometimes it's just a budget thing, and again, like he had so much to play with, or it's just like minor things like that, where it's like your boat's always full. Like, are you actually losing men?
Yeah, and then the
I think directors just want us to be like, these are the 6 people you care about. Who gives a fuck about
the
anyone
rest.
else?
Yeah, low-key.
but it almost like in a lot of those scenes too, like Kyle was saying earlier, Odyssey is supposed to be like more clever, like he survives because he's smart. And most of those scenes when they lose men, it looks like he's just running around trying to survive, and then like he just survives because of luck, not because he was smart.
no, like, and there wasn't any real like leadership.
No.
Yeah, no, that's where I thought
I was
they
like, get
lacked.
back to the boat.
Yeah, like,
okay.
That is the leadership. That's
like I feel like his intelligence and wisdom didn't do that good.
boat.
I feel like they didn't portray like his actual
Then
intelligence.
there's that flashback scene where the Troy battle, where he drops the fire, and then that to give the signal for everyone to break through the gate.
yeah.
He like just went over the ledge and just dropped it in a ran. He didn't even look to see if his men. He could have killed like multiple men just dropping the fire on them. He just didn't even look. He just went over and upright and just dropped it there. I'm like, dude, you could have killed like a lot of men.
Well, you
with
gotta
that.
admit, when the gates open and I forgot what's his name.
Agamemnon.
Agamemnon. That man was aura farming to
He
a
was.
grit.
He
I
was.
was like, God
See,
damn.
that's how you have like, for example, how we brought up Athena, where she didn't have any lines, like, and it was pointless. He plays a big role in the books, but he had no lines up until
when they went
Hades
hell.
thing.
Yeah, Hades.
But he killed the role. Like, he's like, all right, my job is the aura farm. Watch this.
And then
like,
and then you see the actor that does it. It's just like he,
because he's
he-
the nerdy dude in fucking
Oppenheimer and
he's in Oppenheimer, but his even
in,
worse role is with Happy Gilmore.
yeah,
And you're like,
yeah, he's a
that's
bad guy in Happy Gilmore too.
Where am I?
Yeah, but
that is
honestly,
that?
he lost all his aura by the way he died.
No, I
That's-
think that's a point.
that's
Like
true in
as
the
soon
book.
he
That's true.
finally
It is
like
true, but like the way that they made it portrayed, I don't know. it
Wait,
looks
did
like
they?
cheap.
How do they portray it in the movie again?
once he takes off his armor, his wife kills him.
Yeah, because she's having an affair with him when he's away at war, and then
Well, he
her
also
lover is like putting
yeah. Well, he also
gossip
gave
in her-
away her daughter.
yeah,
So that
yeah.
was
So
like.
then she goes, yeah. So that was accurate, but yeah, they just kind of showed him like.
But I think
died
that's the
real
whole
fast.
point. Like
Yeah.
he had such a big ego that he needs this armor that as soon as he takes it off, they finally kill him, and it's just like, oh, like yeah, no, like you were never threatening at all. You just look that way with your armor.
Because when they were on the pig island, where they she turned his men into pigs. What's her name again? It's
The witch. I just know.
yeah, I can't remember her name. I'm
forget.
blanking on the name. Because how he outsmarts her is another god, like, basically tells him. So that was another thing too. Like, I understand he ex-nayed the gods, but like, if you're just gonna have Athena pop up, like, why couldn't he have like a vision and the one god help him there? Because didn't he just like walk into her house and then? No, what he did was he killed.
He killed.
He killed it and then it
a bird,
transformed.
right?
That was a deer.
No,
or
a
something.
deer.
Yeah, and that's how he kind of like figured out who it was. Or I guess like that's a good substitute where his wisdom came into play there, I guess. Because I guess one of my hot takes for the film was, again, I don't think Matt Damon did a terrible job. I think he could have done a better job. And Nolan typically recycles his actors. And I saw someone say this, and I completely agree with it, that like if Christian Bale was to play Odysseus, I think the movie would have been significantly better.
The thing is, he turned it down.
Did he as
Yeah.
Odysseus?
He was
Matt
one of
Damon was
first-
the fifth option.
Yeah, because who was it? It was
Cillian Murphy was the first option.
again.
Yeah, because of Oppenheimer.
Oh, I didn't.
But Cillian wanted to take a down year. He's like, no, I want to
trying to
rest.
see.
I'm glad
He's a
they
good.
didn't pick him.
Yeah, I don't
wouldn't-
see
I
him
don't
as a
see
leader. But
Cillian.
when I saw the Christian Bale one, I was like, yeah,
No, like
he would have
he
killed
literally
it.
went to all his main actors.
RDJ, I think, was one of them too.
I think Hugh
For
I think he went to
Odysseus?
Hugh Jackman as well.
I don't know if RDJ would
Like
have
Matt
been better.
Damon, legit. Like Christopher Nolan said, if you turn this down, I have to go outside of
My circle.
My circle. So that's why
Wow.
Matt Damon took it.
Did Christian
crazy.
Bale
You
say
Pick
why he
something
turned
new.
it down?
I don't think so. I just know Matt Damon and Nolan confirmed that.
They were like, he was the
See,
fifth
I didn't know he
option.
turned it down, but
Yeah.
I feel like if Christian Bale had that role, the movie would have been significantly
Yeah,
better.
I could see that. I could believe
Just
that.
because
Yeah.
he did such a good job in Dark Knight or the Batman trilogy
Yeah.
with
In any movie.
And Prestige.
yeah, all of his movies. Yeah, I think he would have killed it with just with that character.
I do think that John Leguizamo was probably like
Oh, like
he acted his ass off in that movie.
Yeah, he did. He did.
same with Mr. Beggar.
Yeah, we can get into that too. Everyone I like him in our last pod. I said that was one of my more slept on actors, and he came back from the Twilight, and he's been on a generational run. But again, I saw the movie 2 weeks later, and everyone was saying his performance was top tier. I thought him and then the African American dude next to him, I thought they played
the guy who played Dr. Dre, yeah.
I thought
They were
because
just
all they were doing is being they're supposed
Little
to be
bitches.
little bitches, dickhead beggars. I thought you could get a random kid off the street to do better performance than those two.
Yeah, but he's so good at being a slimy guy.
I don't know.
I will say he did fucking piss me off. I hated him.
Every time he's like, get the shields, get the shields. I'm like, how would you get the fucking shields?
he did do better than the Dr. Dre guy. Where they're trying to beat up Tom Holland's, tell him however you say his name.
Yeah.
Tom Holland's character. Where I was like, this is supposed to be your tough guy beggars. I just thought it was more cheesy than actual
But he does
Me-
I think he plays a really good role with he's he's definitely cowardly, but he tries to show that he's not cowardly. Because when it came to the fight downstairs, he's hiding behind a pillar, being like, "Get the shields, get the swords, they're right there, the spears."
No,
and all
yeah,
that.
no, that part I get, and that's just following directions. Okay, you're just gonna go hide when that comes. But I just thought them delivering the lines, when he's like, "Get these beggars out of here," I was like, that was just more cringe than I'm an actual douchebag.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? What I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
I don't know. I got douchebag from that when he says it. I'm just like, this fucking douchebag.
I just feel like you
And
could
then
have got so much better of a douche. As someone actually internally a dickhead play that role, where it would have just came off better, where as opposed to him trying as hard as he did. Where again, I thought both of them were more cringe than.
I feel like the
Douchebaggy.
dialogue in the whole movie was a bit inconsistent. Some
No,
of them had
it-
a more British-ier accent. Some of them just talk straight American.
No, because even Nolan said he was just making it more modern, the dialogue and
See, I didn't know
stuff.
he came out and said it was more.
Yeah.
I do know the modern part because he says dad instead of father.
Yeah.
Wait, did he say that after the movie release?
Before
Oh, okay.
because he said I'm gonna get flack from people. The dialogue's all modern, so he wanted.
Yeah, but why is it some people are kind of old style and some people
I think
aren't?
it's just who the actors are playing.
Shouldn't that be something that's consistent throughout the whole movie though?
Wait, who was that talking?
Anne Hathaway was more she talked more
Greek. I don't know.
pertinent into the time period, while Tom Holland just sounded like an American kid
Yeah, I guess, but
saying dad and stuff.
Did he have his British accent in the film? I don't know.
no, but there's times you can hear slip on through.
I don't think
when
he had a full American accent, but he didn't have. Yeah, he didn't have.
I mean,
his
was
full-
Matt
yeah.
Damon's
No, Matt Damon did not have one. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know.
Yeah, well, you can hear the British accent slip, especially when he does the "enough, the feast is done"
Yeah.
part and trying to act all tough and everything. You can hear some of that British accent slip on through.
And another thing, speaking since we were talking about Tom, a couple people that I follow that I do take their opinions because I feel like they know what they're talking about with movies. And one of them did the top 10 best actors throughout the film, and he didn't have Tom Holland on there. I was kind of shocked. And after watching the movie, I thought his performance, I'll just deviate to Spider-Man real quick, the two way different. I thought his acting was subpar.
I think he did. He played the role he was supposed to. He's a dude who thinks he's tough. Well, trying to act tough because now people are trying to take his mom away and be like the king and everything. So he's like, oh, I gotta act tough now. And then when he gets scolded by his mom, it shows that yeah, you're a bitch. And then he does the whole.
He's supposed to be bitch. I get that. Yeah.
And then he does the whole feast thing, and everyone looks at him like, okay, buddy, we got a tough guy here. Like,
that's true. That's something I didn't really think about too.
Yeah, like I think he played the role well. Where
there's some
a lot of
parts where
people
I'm like,
a lot of people mistake bad acting and playing the role like
the way you're
supposed to.
Because I guess like there's a fine line between like we were talking about earlier, where it's like Robert Pattinson's supposed to play like a tough guy coward, and it just came off like different to me. I guess I kind of have the same thing as Tom Holland, where like I feel like he's too big of an actor to be playing like a. Maybe I'm just so used to him as like Spider-Man. Maybe we're like seeing him play that coward where it just came off like poor to me. Where I'm like, I feel like someone could play a coward better than that. Because when you have like again like a $250 million budget, Nolan's name slapped on it, and then you see the fucking actor list on there, I'm thinking like, oh man, this is gonna be like a masterpiece. And I understand like they're going off of a book and they have to play certain aspects, but sometimes is there a difference between a big name or getting someone who can actually play the role?
I think it's
better?
a mix of
Does that make
both.
sense?
Where
so again, I'm not trying to say like I'm hating on the movie, but I'm just playing devil's advocate on things like I didn't like.
It's a mix of both. I think because I do think like Tom Holland, that can be the flaw where everyone just always thinks, oh, Spider-Man's on my phone. Like they can't unsee Spider-Man. Whereas on the other side, Robert Pattinson, people tried their best to be like, I can't unsee Edward, and he made sure to be like, I'm gonna make a good job on that. I'm gonna make sure you guys forget Edward even was a fucking thing in my life, and no one sees him as Edward anymore.
I still see him as Edward.
But what do you think about Tom Holland? Like,
well, that's what I was gonna say. I don't know if this is a story flaw or not, but how you're just saying like he's kind of like a weakling, I guess per se. At the end, when he takes the throne, I don't know how it's supposed to be in the story because I've kind of forgot, but he basically didn't change at all. He's still king and he's still a weakling. Like he didn't do anything to like really earn or become like strong.
I think it's more now like all those, I forgot what they're called, the people that took over his house, like
the suitors.
Yeah, the suitors. They're not there anymore.
Yeah, so he gets to train under his dad.
Yeah,
like the dad has to pass the torch. Like he's still not king yet.
Yeah, and I think because the suitors aren't there, so they're not like.
Oh, we know how this dude is.
Yeah, it's
where people now come in and they're like, "Oh, this king probably knows what he's doing now." And he really doesn't. I don't think.
No, he doesn't. So like,
he didn't do anything to change.
Yeah, that was a good point.
There was one scene of him training.
Yeah, that's so I was gonna.
I am so pissed about that training.
So like, to tie into like the Tom Holland thing, where like I understand he's supposed to like play, like he doesn't have a dad to teach him to be king, and he's trying to be a tough guy, but he's not. I get that. It just came off as like poor to me. And going off of that for like what he has to go through was one, he's training, right? So the same guy who trained Odysseus, I'm pretty sure the blind guy, was like training him. And I just think it's bad writing where like in the very beginning of the movie he's training and like they teach him the one like special move. He used that one special move like 3 times or like do something. Like the choreograph needs to be better where he does that little spin or whatever. And then at the end when he runs upstairs where the one guy's like trying to axe the floor.
Where I was gonna go
and then
with.
he literally runs up there, just gets stabbed. And I hate when movies do this where it's like so many movies have been made and so many people have bitched about it where it's like, and again, I don't know if this is in the book or not. If that's what it is, then maybe like X-nay what I'm about to say, but like the dude stabs him in the stomach and then he falls down and goes, oh, I bet. Then turns around and completely forgets about him. Then he's like, oh, I'm going to get up. Oh, look at this sword right here. And stab the dude in the back where I'm like, that's just bad writing.
It's kind of going where I was going. You don't set up that training thing to be like, remember, do this and then attack him. And then not follow through at the end when it mattered most. Like in the fucking Karate Kid, they do that whole thing about, oh, do the crane kick. Yeah. And then what do they do at the end? They do the fucking crane kick.
When he needs it most. Yeah. Like, he's getting beat up, and then he's like, I got to pull it out.
You don't make a scene where it's just like, oh, make sure you, like, let him attack, but then that's where you stab him.
He does, like, this weird spin block thing that they
but
train
it's
him,
not-
and
but
they
it
did it
wasn't the
one
exact
time.
That's what I'm saying.
move.
Like, at least if he did that, then you could be like, all right, well, he killed a guy.
He
can
learned
be king,
something.
you know?
Yeah,
And
like
then it's
he
no,
took his
didn't even
knowledge
do
and
that.
applied it
Yeah.
to real life.
He did nothing.
So I didn't like that, and I don't know if it's in the books either. I forgot to look this up. I don't know if in the books if the guy does bash a hole in the floor.
I don't know.
Just
I don't
and-
remember
and,
that
and then in
either.
the beginning,
Well-
you see the whole break. It's like yay big, and then all of a sudden it's this big, and he's dropping shields down. I'm like, all right, dude.
Wait, how big was it?
I think in the book also Robert
yay big.
Pattinson's character's the first to
On the
die.
camera.
He is.
Yeah, I think in the book and even in the
Oh, he's the one
90s.
that got kirked.
Yeah. I think
God.
I think in the book and the 90s TV movie adaptation, he's the first to die.
Is
Instead
he
it was
first?
Dr.
And
Dre.
then because there's that other, it's called the Return Odyssey film, where it's just him returning, and it's not like an hour and a half of him like scoping it out. You know, like the point of the book was when he saw Agamemnon with Hades, he was like, "Don't let them know you return, like,
Yeah.
because they're gonna try to stab you in the back." The Return, the movie is just him basically showing up as a beggar, like scoping it out. And I thought that movie did a better job with them all trying to do the bow, where they show people like trying different angles and struggling, and then like throwing banter. In the movie, only like 2 people tried, and then he went up and just did it. And then,
Oh, yeah.
and then how they did it in the
No,
Return,
but they did cut it where it's implied that a lot
More
of people
people
are
did.
already doing
because
it.
how they did it in the Return was they had a little less beggars to make it more like modern. And once he strung it and then shot it through the rings, he walked up on like the 3 steps where he's above everybody, and like everyone was like, "Oh shit, he's here," and then he turned around and starts like sniping all
Wait,
of them.
I think I've seen that clip, and then he all of a sudden like loses the beggar bullshit, and it's like the 90s TV movie adaptation, I
it's
think.
not 90s. No, it's like from like
Or the
2015.
80s or something.
This,
Oh,
the
then
Return's
never
from like
mind.
2015.
Oh, then never
It's the
mind.
guy in the what's that zombie movie that just came out? With like
28 days or
I
20
think
years.
So it's the
Ralph
the
Fiennes?
dude who's like bald, and like he's the scientist trying to
Oh,
communicate. It's
Ralph
that-
Fiennes, I think, yeah.
that actor. He's Odysseus in this movie. And yeah, he walks up on the steps where his wife is, where he's like above everyone, where he has the high ground and everyone's in front of him, and then he starts sniping because they don't have like the weapons. This movie, there's like 80 people in a circle, and he's just like spinning around, like so easily could have just jumped on his back and like taken him out, and he's
Yeah,
like,
but
no.
that's not movie logic.
Where I just thought that fight scene was kind of
Because you could do that with even superhero movies where it's like, yo, if you all just gang up
That's
on
what I'm saying. I was
Spider-Man-
like, what the?
It's
like
the
someone
same it's the same thing when you play the fucking Arkham Knight games. Like
just spinning around
Yeah,
in
but at least
circles.
those guys are superheroes. He's not.
So I thought that scene was
He
a little
doesn't have
cheesy. Where
powers.
at least in the Return they made it more like modern, where it's like, okay, this is how he was able to take on like 15 dudes by himself. And this one, they're all around him in a circle and just watching him just spin around like, all right, I choose you. I'm gonna get you now. Like, make it a little bit more believable.
No, I will say because of that movie, I never realized that one studio production that always starts with it has always been Odysseus the entire time with the fucking arrows.
Oh
I
yeah,
think it's TSG.
yeah. I
or
know what you're
something
talking
like that,
about.
yeah.
Where it's like gold and it's like the movie intro.
Yeah. Like I never realized up until that up until right now, I'm just like, that's been Odysseus this
Yeah, the
entire
entire
time.
This thing's really important. And then like another thing I disliked too was that I've been seeing online, which does make sense. Again, I'm gonna keep coming back to the $250 million budget because like when you have that much money, you need to keep the flaws down. Was when they were. I understand he gets told by the witch trying to go to Hades, I think, where it's the whirlpool versus the Skyla.
Yeah.
When they zoom out, the whirlpool's only like yay big, and then the next rock's miles away, where it's like you could easily cut the gap.
You could even
And
gone away from the world.
Exactly, where it's like, and then they're like, well, they'll know in the book the whirlpool was gonna get him. We're like, well, yeah, well, make the whirlpool more like believable. Where it's like when they zoomed out,
Like
it
they
was
had
just-
no choice but to go through.
like they had to go that way, and then like when they zoomed out, we were just like, yeah, the whirlpool's way to the left, and you got about like 4 miles of just free gas.
I guess it makes sense though, because it's like they probably wouldn't have had that much maneuver to make that big wide turn away from the whirlpool. I think.
Started turning earlier.
But I mean,
Yeah, like,
well, could
yeah.
have seen. I
So
was
I
gonna say
just
you
thought
could
that
have
was
seen
funny.
it in far away. Like I'm sure, like if we were on a boat and we see a fucking whirlpool, we're like, yo, there's a whirlpool with that effect. Might
Yeah,
as well
that's what I'm
just
saying,
start
like-
turning that way so we could just go all the way
That's
around it.
what I would have done was like at least like when they're coming in his mind because he got told not to go that way, where it's like show nothing and then all of a sudden just show like how like in the Pirates of the Caribbean, like when the Kraken's
just-
coming, the
yeah.
water's boiling, like oh shit, and so people start freaking out where they're like, let's go over quick, and then he'd be like, no, let's cut right. Instead, the whirlpool is just already there with a massive gap, and they're like, "Nah, let's take a Roger."
And even then, I think there was still a gap in between the Skyla and the whirlpool.
Yeah,
like
there
they could have
was.
still gone straight.
That's what I'm
through.
saying. Where I'm like, again, like you have a big budget. Those are little things you could have made a little bit better. But besides like bashing on it, because that's the take we've kind of taken. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate it. I don't.
Everyone's gonna think you did.
I know that's what I'm saying, and that's the thing I hate is like people just follow like.
the negative stuff.
So the
The
thing
pop-
is, like,
like,
how
they
you guys gave
follow
it
the hype.
6 point whatever. Like, that's the thing. In today's modern movies, everyone thinks you guys giving sixes means,
Anything under a 7 means it's bad.
Yeah, when in reality, it's like, no, you guys gave it an okay rating.
like,
Like,
it wasn't
it's
bad.
legit.
above good.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
like, you guys literally say it's still good. It's just not
Yeah,
the
it's
best
just like-
in
It's
your
not
Yeah.
the best.
opinion.
Like social media has everyone
Barely
like, oh my
above
God.
mediocre.
Like it's legit either 7, 8, 9, or 10 is like the scale, and like at 7 it's like, oh, you didn't like the movie, and it's just like, no,
Yeah, it might as well be 0 through 5.
Yeah.
But yeah, I
Because
mean,
one of the guys that I watched, like by the third day the movie came out, he's like, "Yeah, I just finished my 5th screening of the movie. It was the greatest thing." I'm like, 5. I'm like, I'm good until Netflix, and maybe I'll watch it a year later. From
I
now
don't
on."
understand how you guys are gonna watch it right again.
Like it's
Well, not
one
really.
thing if I watch it like maybe a week or 2 weeks apart, because it's also 3 hours. Like
It's very long.
the only time I ever went back to back on a 3-hour movie was, I think, Avengers Endgame. The next day I went and saw
Yeah.
Avengers Endgame at IMAX, and I was just like, yeah, I want to see this again. But like, I cannot, like, even then, I was thinking to myself, it's like, maybe I should give myself like time to process this, because it's like that's
why I'm
already
doing
6
my
hours of my
double
day.
screening. Well,
like
granted,
farther apart.
I was like, granted, the tickets weren't available until then, and I finally was able to get tickets. But it's one of those, I'm like, okay, at least I'm doing it now instead of back to back, where I still think it's gonna. Because who knows? Maybe my second rewatch, I'm gonna be like, okay, now it's not.
Now that we had the pod, keep some.
just
stuff
be like,
we talk about
I
in
see
mind.
what they were talking
So
about.
that is
Well, let's see what these
Yeah, I want to
idiots.
know if it stays at 10. I want to know if it stays at 10 after your second.
Knowing me,
rewatch.
it's just gonna be a 9.5.
That is one thing I will say is like that's such an asshole move that they made it intended to be on 70 millimeter. Like, come on, man, just make it on a normal freaking
Right.
screen.
The one on
It's a money
at
grab.
Batavia Imagine, that's like, it's not technically 70 millimeters, but it gets pretty close.
Yeah,
like,
I was gonna say, it
like
barely
a regular
plays.
screen cuts off here, the one at Imagine cuts off here, instead of like you seen the whole
The top.
head and all that. Like,
And I was like, it didn't bother me, so it was
Is
like,
this the only? What's another movie that was specifically made for 70? Or is
Well,
this the first
Spider-Man
one?
was not made for 70, but it was made for
for
other
that
one.
screen.
oh
X.
no,
The
do
one
not
that-
watch it because I've seen how some of the footage looks.
Yeah.
It's not
What is
worth
it like?
Is that the one on the
three-ways, I
sides?
think?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
pretty
heard
much,
that
it's
one.
pretty
yeah.
much your guys' like backdrop. Like if you're
this.
right over there.
It's the movie here, and then on the side.
Yeah, I heard people didn't like that.
Oh,
I didn't like it
I've seen
even
how it
before.
looks. Yeah, I didn't like it even before, but I've seen how some footage looks, and I'm like, yeah, this ain't for me. I'm not gonna watch it in that.
But it has, besides the Odyssey, has there been another movie specifically made for
I
70
think
like that?
Wasn't it Hail Mary?
Not. I mean,
they
technic-
had some of it.
the
but
thing
not
is, like, this is the
entire movie.
first ever movie made
All
only.
entirely.
Because
Yeah,
Oppenheimer
entirely-
was made entirely on IMAX cameras, but not. And then I think a few scenes were 70 millimeter, and then this one was made entirely
why
on
is
70
that a
millimeter.
thing? Like, well, only some scenes.
It's because he went to Six. No, he legit went to Six Flags, our Six Flags, and saw one of those movies, and theirs was IMAX 70 millimeter. Thought it was the greatest thing ever, and when
Who,
he
Nolan did? Or?
yeah,
Oh, okay.
so when he was growing up, becoming more of a filmmaker, he remembered his time at Six Flags, and I was like, wait, why don't movies do this? This is more cooler to.
because we don't have theaters.
Exactly. And now I'm like, bro.
asshole.
Now I'm.
No, the fucking IMAX CEO came out like when everyone's like, "Hey, you gonna make any more 70 millimeters?" Oh, I don't know. Like the technology is a little outdated, and like the people that made it don't have the
So in other
blueprints
words,
anymore
no.
or are dead. And everyone's like, "What do you mean? Like you are the CEO? Like just just say yes, like make it.
It's in
And
file
then,
save somewhere.
like-
But aren't like movie theaters in general from like the past 15 years like declining revenue wise?
actually, since last year, so this year's like the biggest leap since
Since
2019.
2019.
So maybe
yeah.
once
Back
more
up?
money comes
Yeah.
in,
I
then
think
they
it's
can
already
spend
made
the
10
money on
billion
bigger
before Odyssey even came out. I
Really?
think it made 10 billion this year, or
screens. So
18
then they have the
billion,
money
something
too.
like that.
I guess maybe like individual
Yeah.
theaters don't have
Actually-
the revenue to.
Or just stop filming in 70 millimeter
Yeah.
and call it a day.
True.
That's just him though. No, yeah, because like a lot of
Sinners,
movies,
I think, was
yeah,
made
I'm
in
Sinners,
trying to
God.
say he's an asshole.
yeah, I was gonna say a lot of
He
these movies
sucks.
like Project Hail Mary, Sinners, and all these like there's certain scenes they'll make it as IMAX 70 millimeter, but the whole movie isn't. It's this one where he was like, no, from the moment it starts all the way to the end, this will be filmed on IMAX.
So is that
70
why
millimeter.
he was just like, in every scene, he was like, maybe if I make the music louder, everyone else would
Maybe
like
the
it
people
better.
are falling asleep. I'll make the music louder.
Bro,
They'll
He's
wake
like,
up.
how do we make this scene better? Maybe we no.
I don't remember.
Make the music
Jack
louder.
up the volume.
Jack up the volume.
I don't
that's
remember
it.
this.
We're on a
Everyone
budget.
always was saying that the Cyclops was very loud. I don't recall it being that loud. However,
that thunderstorm scene?
I thought the whole movie was just
no.
very loud.
However, I will say when he's talking to Anne Hathaway, Penelope on the stairs, and then they cut to the Trojan War. Whoever did the mixing there fucking like blew out my eardrum because like as soon as like they just show the army just like terrorizing all of Troy, I'm just like I'm sitting there like, oh god damn, what the
Hey,
fuck? Like,
you just pointed out a new flaw. Poorly mixed movie.
No, but
He's
very
Nolan's
bad at,
very,
he's very bad at
known
mixing.
for his bad mixing.
Why?
I
He's
thought
not
the
even the
speaker
one
was gonna
mixing it.
explode.
No, he actually. Well, he
He
probably
sits
doesn't
there and
do it,
he's
but
like-
he's the one that
He's like,
he's probably
He gives
behind-
the okay.
Yeah, he gives the okay.
That's
and is
crazy.
behind it.
He's like, good job.
No, but yeah,
You
when
fucking
they were in
review.
that storm, my god, like I'm like,
was loud.
holy fuck, this hurts my ears. I look over, Jocelyn's on the side like this, because I'm like, oh god, if she's like that, that means it's loud enough for. I'm like, I thought it was just me, and I see her, I'm like, oh fuck, it's not just me. And then you confirming it when you saw like, yo, my ears are still ringing. I'm like, oh thank God,
it
it
was loud.
wasn't just.
I saw a
me.
tweet that said like, "Can we charge Nolan for domestic terrorism for what he did to my eardrums?"
Yeah, I was there like,
Like, wait, I'm still in the movie.
and that's the other thing too. What Odyssey had that Spider-Man didn't was when we went to see it. The movie theater we went to has alcohol, so we got a 32-ounce IPA. I'm like, damn, when I am halfway through this movie's about to get decent.
oh, see, hey, that's why you got to deduct another like point on. Because
I'm buzzing. I'm like, all right, it's an hour in. The movie's about to get fired. I'm like, fuck, my drink's almost gone. I'm like, it's not hitting. The movie's not hitting for me. Like, what the
Yes,
Wait,
he-
for Odyssey or Spider-Man?
Odyssey,
Oh.
Spider-Man, they didn't have booze at the. other
Yeah.
theater.
Oh, yeah.
Believe it or not, those 4DX theaters also have cup holders. Like, there's people that aren't aware that what they're gonna go through when they like.
They have
Oh, when it's like
drinks.
shaking.
and that shit
Oh,
is
someone
spilling all
on
over.
someone on purpose for 40X actually said, I'm buying the largest popcorn and a drink on purpose and he wasn't gonna put it down, like he wanted to hold it and not even eat any
So it
of it.
doesn't
And he
go
said,
through.
I'm gonna try eating my popcorn as like they were shaking. So he put it down, and you just see the popcorn everywhere as he's trying. And he literally, dude, I only had one scoop in my mouth, and half of it's gone.
That's funny. I do want to try one of those movies. I thought it was fake at first, but it's not.
Yeah, me and him. I remember this was when 4DX was even
Starting.
worse. When it was starting back when Top Gun Maverick came out. We wanted to go to one of those so bad,
Oh,
and then
being in the plane.
do they have it around here?
It's like,
and
in
Gurney.
yeah,
Where?
in Gurney and Chicago, I think.
Yeah, there's one in Chicago and then one I think in Gurney. And then we tried to do it again with
It's like the
Twisters because I heard Twisters was giving a lot of people headaches.
I want to
Oh, I can
watch.
see that.
So why would
Top
you
Gun.
want to watch it?
Because
I
it looks
just
fun.
wanted- it did look fun.
But I guess, like, before we transition to Spider-Man, like, do you guys want to, since we've only been negative side, do you want to at least give a positive aspect that you enjoyed from the movie? Because in the beginning, I was like, we're not hating.
I think
It
for
sounds
me, it
like
was
we're-
more like it wasn't really like positive. It was more just not negative.
It was just overhyped.
It was just
It was good,
Which
but
I
overhyped.
could see that. Like, I'm someone like, even if I enjoy the Odyssey or like any great movie, I can always be one of those people where like, if you guys hate it or even if you guys love it, I'm one of those people. I'm like, it is overhyped. Like,
It was.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Like,
I didn't hate it.
I could-
that's
I could
what I
be
thought
like-
with
It's not
Obsession.
hated.
like I literally could
was
do
good.
that with like even a TV show, a
Yeah.
fast food joint or anything. Like, I could like it or hate it or I know
versa.
someone who's the opposite or the same as me, and I could be one of those people. Like, by the way, the shit is overhyped because
So I think
It
that's
is.
how we all are with like basically an In-N-Out. Like we all know
Yeah.
that's over.
yeah, but we all hate that.
Because yeah, for me, like going into it, I let the social media in too much. Where like my expectations were like above and beyond, and I was like super pumped for the movie.
That's how it was with Avatar.
And so like another one, and so like even though I have it rated a little bit lower, it sounds like we hated the movie. Like it wasn't bad by any means, but it wasn't. It was below my expectation because everyone was like, "Oh my god, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10."
And that's the
greatest
thing.
ever, where I
Like
was
we're
like,
in
"Oh."
this age where social media is gonna dictate
Exactly.
your mood regardless. Like even if like with bad movies, someone could say, "Oh, this is the shittiest movie ever." You're gonna go in there like, "Yeah, I hated this movie too," but in reality, you're like, "Yo, this movie was actually pretty good." Or
Or social media said it where it's like, oh, I had low expectations and it actually turned out fine compared to what social media
It's
made
like
it out.
the movie. I feel like like movies when you connect with it, you don't even feel like you're watching a movie. You feel like you're just like you feel like in the time period or whatever. This one, I just kind of I could tell I was
That's
watching.
how we
a movie.
actually. I think that's how we felt this past Thursday with End of Oak Street.
yeah, literally,
Like,
I
I'm
felt
like
like I
this.
was actually in the movie. One key scene happened in the movie, and I look over, I see him like that, and then I see Jocelyn on the bench, like, and then I'm just like, so I'm like, we were literally invested in the movie. We're like, did that shit just happen?
As a casual that doesn't know shit, thanks, Kyle, who also didn't read the book, thank God, to Spark Notes. I enjoyed watching it, but again, I like saw the flaws in real time, and I even like looked at Haley and I was like, where did all these guys just come from? Didn't they all just die? And I was like, oh, whatever. It's a
What did
movie.
Haley think of it?
Certain
She liked it.
technical flaws I usually don't like let it skew my scores. Like if it's like something that's like the famous like Starbucks cup in Game of Thrones. I've never watched Game of Thrones, but if let's say I did and I saw that, I wouldn't really say like, oh, worst episode ever just because like I spotted a Starbucks cup.
So, yeah.
In fucking Troy, there's a plane that you see in
Oh,
the
I didn't
sky.
know. I thought you were talking about the
Rubber
helmet
helmets.
thing.
And
Uh,
that's
Oh, the rubber
Yeah, I remember that. Because to your point, because yeah, so it does sound like we're just over here being haters. And again, like I think the big difference between like Game of Thrones and the Odyssey was Game of Thrones was a book most people don't read. So like when it was coming out, all the book people loved it, but that community is too small to like put all that hype out there. Like my social media isn't filled with like, oh my gosh, this book, this book, this book.
Yeah.
HBO dropped it and people started watching it with no expectation, like, yo, this is supposed to be a good book. I have no
Yeah.
idea. And then you're like, oh shit,
Some
this
people
is
weren't
fire.
even aware it was a
So
book.
then because you see how good the show is, then you like, oh, there's a couple flaws, whatever. But the caveat on that for this one, like I said, I watched it 3 weeks later. I mean, my feed was flooded like best movie ever. Nothing will ever top this. Perfect film, 10 out of 10. Everyone
Until
killed
Dune
it.
3
And,
comes
and
out.
then when I watched it, I was like, all right, well, here's a flaw, here's a flaw. I'm like, I'm just being a hater, now, but it's not a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. So I think that was like the big difference.
No, yeah, cause I know like how you guys say like, oh, you shouldn't take my opinion because I was glazing Nolan regardless going in because that's one of those like, you guys are right. Like if I'm already having these expectations, like, oh, Angel's already gonna glaze it, but I'm like, but what if it was ass? Then would you guys take my opinion?
I think I remember. Didn't
just-
that happen with like I think it was the Amazing Spider-Man. Everyone's like it was fine, and then everyone looked at Angel. It's like shit was garbage. It's like
think the
he's
thing-
a Spider-Man fan. Maybe we should take his word for it.
I think the thing was like, oh, if the twins like it, it's probably ass. If the twins don't like it, it's probably good.
Yeah, that's a good metric.
That's how I feel with a lot of like my little brother's movies because he watches more of the indie stuff where I'm
Yeah.
like that's
the artsy fartsies.
He watches like everything though, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's more of a cinephile than we are.
He's starting to turn on like the big IPs that we all used to grow up
Yeah.
loving. Like he's now turning on the superhero genre and Star Wars. I'm like, bro, like you can't turn on the one genre that made you fall in love with
Yeah.
this.
That's funny.
But I guess like before we sidetrack too far off, do you guys want to switch over to the next big movie? Let's go.
Super Troopers 3?
Hey, that Super Troopers 1 is a slut fest.
Too Fast. Have you guys watched Too Fast?
No.
That so fucking garbage.
You've seen it?
I've seen a lot of clips, and I'm just like, this isn't. Parody movies are so bad. Like,
Watch that shit, dude. That thing is
I
hilarious.
don't know. It looks to the level of Meet the Spartans, and that shit's ass
Dude,
too.
it's hilarious.
Super Troopers 1, that's a good one.
Like, because Scary Movie 6, I remember I came out, I'm like, it's not as bad as I thought it would be. Because going in, the commercials look so bad where I'm like, I don't think I'm going to laugh at that. And there was parts I laughed at, and I was just like, I'm sure if I watch this the next time, this is going to come out much worse
I'd
than it
rather
did.
watch Too Fast than any of the scary movies.
Oh, yeah, I remember hearing your podcast. I'm like, no, Scary Movie 1 is definitely legit.
That was
Like,
the most
that's
boring
still
one.
legit.
Too Fast is funny, dude.
I
All right.
fall asleep in scary movie.
Recap. What was your scores? 10 and 9?
10.
9.5.
And ours were
7, 6.
6, 8.
4.
6, 7.
All right.
Super Troopers. Can I get a liter of cola? What's a, liter of cola?
what?
Liter's French for give me some fucking cola. Hold the spit, it's a cop.
Hey, why'd you say that?
All right. Let us know what you guys think about the Odyssey.